This is Changelog 15 for Heist, the 16th in my series about what's changed and what's new in the game this week. I haven't made any visible changes to the game this week because I've laid out a lot of very cool underlying technology to prepare for non-player characters which I really want to show off. A bit of background though. A few weeks ago I overhauled the character system. One of the things I added was the foundation for a sticky cover system. The idea of this system is you can look at a surface, like this wall, and then press C to make the character slide across the floor into a crouching pose next to the wall automatically. Once you're in a pose like that, you should be able to press A and D to strafe left and right along the cover, sticking to it as you move, hence the name. These kind of systems are really useful in stealth games, as you can do a lot of your movement by jumping from cover to cover, which minimises the time you spend wrestling with the keyboard controls, which really pulls you out of immersion in the game. The reason I don't have this sticky cover system functioning yet is because I need several new systems in place to control the character for you when you tell it to take cover. These systems are the same ones which would be controlling non-player characters all the time. NPCs are a massive challenge which I knew one day I would have to tackle, and although in the past I've built a lot of groundwork, I've never actually integrated it into the game itself, and so I decided that I should really start to tackle this. The first thing I need for any kind of non-player character in the game is a navigation mesh. A navigation mesh is the basic representation of the level which artificial intelligence is used to navigate around. As I mentioned in the changelog last week, I eventually settled upon using a library called Recast, which does all of the complicated work of converting a polygon mesh into a navigation mesh for me. This means I can just dump the mesh that I already generate for levels into Recast, and I get out a high quality navigation mesh. Once I had a C# wrapper around the C++ library, I spent some time integrating this into my pathfinding system, so that the recast navmesh data is converted into my own format. Here's a test mesh for all of this that I've been using. As you can see, it's really complicated. There are multiple levels, there's overhanging sections, there are stairs, there are disconnected areas. This is pretty much a nightmare for navmesh generation. Everything here is horrible to deal with, so that makes it a perfect test. Here is the result of navmesh generation on this same mesh. As you can see, the overhangs are handled, even the stairs have been handled properly, and the system is selecting random pairs of nodes and then performing an A* pathfind between the nodes, which is what these highlighted paths are. And if you look carefully at the title bar, I'm not sure if that's going to be readable in YouTube, these pathfinds are taking less than a millisecond to perform usually, so that's not bad. Finally, I performed the modifications I needed to the world generator in the game itself. This wasn't very complicated, and actually led to a few minor improvements in the system, including a pretty nifty upgrade to error handling, so that's quite nice. I've now got very basic navmesh generation in the game. Of course, there's nothing to see yet, and there won't be until AIs are walking around in a couple of weeks' time. That's it for this week. If you'd like to keep up with the latest news on the project, you can follow me on Twitter as MartinDEvans, you can follow my development blog at martindeevans.me, or of course, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.